the United States, this is Latin music. And this is Latin music. This is Latin music. And this is Latin music. Its roots are sometimes obvious, and sometimes not.
Clave is the mantra that we live by in Afro-Cuban music. It's also found in other Caribbean forms of music, like Dominican music. For example, clave is found in merengue. It's found in plena, etc., and bomba, etc. When we do arrangements in these styles of music from these other islands, we live by the clave because the clave is like the rhythmic glue that holds all the music together and provides us a foundation from which all the other rhythms are built upon. Its roots are in West Africa from rhythms in 6/8 meter. By 6/8, for people that don't know anything about music, you would be counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3. And we have various patterns from West Africa that are in that meter. Or this pattern. Then the roots of the son clave come from this bell rhythm in 6/8 meter from West Africa. Can 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 can. Vamos rumbero que la rumba ya va a empezar. Vamos timbero que la rumba ya va a empezar. So everything that I've done is in conjunction with the rhythmic direction of the clave, but it's like a mathematical equation because you have 5 attacks. 3 plus 2. 3 plus 2, depending on the rhythmic direction of the melody. It falls on the 3 side, vamos rumbero, or it can fall on the 2 side. Mambo, mambo, que rico ya mi mambo, 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 que rico ya mi mambo, mambo. So as a musician, as a dancer, and as the average listener, if you know clave, you'll appreciate the music more and you'll be playing it as authentically as humanly possible. Because what the clave does is energize.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
The mambo was originally developed as an extension of the son in Cuba by the Lopez brothers. But it really came to fruition as a genre and like an international presence and popularity through the bands that were working in the United States. It is a product of a really thriving Latin music scene in New York by the 1950s. And also on the West Coast as well, and in Mexico. Is really an international phenomenon. So mambo is a generic label for a grouping of dance music. It's another craze, dance craze, that comes out of the rumba dance craze and after the conga, and which features mainly instrumental music, played at a very fast tempo. The tempo is much faster in mambo than in the son, and it's really virtuosic in its arranging style and features virtuosic solos on the percussion as well as instrumental solos.
Okay, in the 1920s, there was a vibrant culture going on in Cuba, especially in Havana. There are three main styles of music that are all competing against each other for the hearts and minds, basically, of the population in Havana. You have the elegant danzón, which was created in Matanzas by Miguel Failde in the late 1800s, and this type of music was played by charanga orchestras and still is today, which are flute, Baroque flute, and strings, most notably violins, with timbales, guiro, and then eventually later on a conga drum was added. Then you have the rumba tradition, which is the street drumming tradition of Havana and Matanzas, and it's very African-based. There are three styles: yambu, which is played on wooden crates called cajones. Then the guaguancó, which is the more popular style, and people all over know the melody of guaguancó, especially Havana style, because it sounds like this. I mean, I practically grew up with that, going to sleep at night in the projects in the South Bronx in the summertime. You'd go to sleep to the melody of that in the evening. The last style of rumba, rumba Colombia, which is specifically from Matanzas, Cuba, very, very African, developed by the dock workers in a train and bus stop, an old train and bus stop called Colombia near the docks. And only men dance it because it's a challenge dance. The men were the only ones that were there working. So that's why this became a real macho kind of thing. And if you look at it, very, very much, it's a challenge kind of dance, like in breakdancing, that you're just showing off. And we get the beginnings of the mambo concept, where the music is built in layer upon layer, all intersecting at the clave to create maximum energy, to excite the human organism to its maximum potential on the dance floor.